Hello, this is Dom from BlackToad Studios, and tonight I'm bringing you a video that is close to my heart. What do Chaos players want in 2019? So in no particular order tonight, I'm going to go through 10 things that I'd really want Chaos to have in the new year. It's now coming towards halfway through January, so we've still got 11 and a half months ahead, and hopefully some of my predictions tonight, my predictions, my hopes, my dreams will come true. Now, let's get started in no particular order. It's going to be number 10. So at number 10, it is for Chaos Space Marines. So we've just seen from the open day the new Sorcerer model coming out, and that looks amazing. As far as we know, it's just a standard Chaos Sorcerer in power armor. Also got the World Claimer as well, King of the Raptors, and I would like to see some more special characters for Chaos coming up this year. Preferably either undivided or each Legion is to get one special character. At the moment, there's only so many characters and they are all Legion specific, except for certain Legions, Night Lords, Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, Word Bearers have no special characters, and it would be amazing if there were one special character for each of those legions. They're definitely flavorful, and a little character wouldn't go amiss. So if you could pick a character to go into from one of those legions, who would you pick, and what special abilities would they have? Now let's move on to number 9. So at number 9, it is for the Chaos Demons. It's a new Slaanesh demon range. So this goes from the tiny little demons, your demonettes, up to your greater demons, a keeper of secrets. At the moment, the Slaanesh god has gone lacking somewhat, unfortunately. All the other gods have had their major demons replaced from fine cast and metal into amazing plastic kits, and Slaanesh unfortunately are still waiting around in the wings for their time, and I do feel 2019 should be their time. They should have some new models coming out. Excuse me one moment. And yeah, so Slaanesh models, demons themselves, completely separate from Emperor's Children, who will feature somewhere else on this list. But Slaanesh demons really need a bit of love. Rules-wise, they could have an update as well. Fair enough, the Codex is already out, but we've seen already with Chapter Approved, they can change the rules, such as Blood Crushers have gained an extra wound. There could be plenty more rules coming out for them, as well as new models. And for Slaanesh, what would you like? And what extra models would you like? We've already seen the Harp coming out, the Harp player, which is a beautiful model, and hopefully plenty more will join it in that kind of high standard that we're now seeing from Games Workshop. Now that's number 9. Now let's move on to number 8. So number 8. Currently, Thousand Suns and Death Guard have already got their own codex, which is amazing. And in these codexes, we have, you can see the Terminators that their individual legions have. So you've got the Death Guard Terminators and the Thousand Sun Terminators. Now, I would personally like to see that these ranges are expanded upon, and that they get some sort of fast attack options in there as well, under the form of possibly different types of jump infantry or bikes, because I think those models look amazing, and especially bikes haven't really had any love really in 8th edition for Chaos. And it'd be quite nice to see something appear, possibly along the same lines as World Claimer, maybe for the bikes. Maybe we'll see the return of a particular rider whose first name is Doom. But that's what I'd like to see. A few more models introduced into these ranges. Because Games Workshop kind of released this massive armies that have come out, especially for Death Guard. And Thousand Suns, not so much, but they also got a lot of nice models. But just expand on it slightly. Just to have these extra couple of bits coming in and kind of fleshing out their current army and giving those players an extra kind of thought. Do I play it this way? Do I play it that way? But that's what I'd like to see. Is there any other fast options you guys would like to see in the Thousand Suns or Death Guard army that haven't really been touched upon so far. So that's my number 8. Now we're getting there. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7. So what I would like to see more this year, and possibly it's going to happen, more campaign books. We've had pretty much all the codexes out now. Just waiting for Genestealer Cult to raise its purpley head from Games Workshop. But it would be quite nice to see some new campaign books coming out. We've now seen the Rise of Formations as well. And it'd be quite good to see some of the lesser used legions feature in these books. Not gonna lie to you, word bearers, they need to feature in these books somewhere, just to have one formation or a detachment type in there and to kind of just give them a bit of love, guys. They've suffered a lot, word bearers. They've suffered through the cultist type of traitors. They have suffered through all sorts, and they're still going. There's a nice fan base there for word bearers, and Games Workshop, we would like to see a little bit more. What would you like to see in the expansion? Any other campaigns you think would come up that could feature a whole book, and which legions would appear? What formations would you like to see? And would those special characters that we spoke about in number 10 appear in these campaign books? Would they go and side with them? Who knows? So let's move on to number 6. Number 6, Forge World to release a Chaos Titan. And when I say Chaos Titan, I mean a Titan specifically made for Chaos. Not an Imperial Titan, which you have to Chaos up, but a one made for Chaos. So for instance, the old Forge World Warhound. I know at the moment there's a Reaver you can get on Forge World, which is amazing. Slightly out my price range. But a Warhound would be great if that was to return. Or possibly a new Chaos Knight. You can get the Knight kit already from Forge World, but I think that's a little bit out of date now with the newer Knights coming out. And especially with the Forge World Knights, you can't really do much with it. So it would be quite nice to see a specific type of Chaos Knight appear. Even the Slaanesh Epic Titans, they'd be quite cool to see them on the battlefield. In a nice new Forge World model. I'm sure they would sell like hotcakes. That's what I'd like to see. I'm sure there are other people out there who would like to see a Chaos Thunderhawk, because that also would be pretty awesome. But that's really what I want to see at number 6. And hopefully Forge World are listening. You better be listening, Forge World. And we will see that. Now let's move on to number 5. So number 5, one close to my heart. Some of these other are very close to my heart, but number 5 would be the return of Renegades and Heretics, and also an expansion on Chaos Cultists. So it's 2 separate things, but kind of tied in with the same theme. So Renegades and Heretics, unfortunately, were taken off of Forge World at the mid part of 2018, and we can't get them anymore. I have got an army in the works at the moment. I kind of look over to my right and can see one kind of building up and will appear on the channel at some point in the future. But also the cultist models themselves, they're a little bit dated now. They're all snap fit. It would be quite nice if GW were to revisit it and give it a bit of Genestealer cultist love. Obviously not the same tricks as Genestealer cultists, but just be nice to have some extra units in there to add a bit of flavour. Because I feel really for the Chaos Forces in the 41st millennium, the fodder, so the Renegades and Heretics and the Cultists do most of the work absorbing bolt gun shells, and it'd be quite nice for Games Workshop to kind of see that and kind of give them a little bit of love. As we see previously with changes to the rules, Tide of Traitors has suffered, which is understandable. It was pretty powerful, but it'd be quite nice if we were to see some Renegades appear back on the battlefield in a new range. Of course, we've seen Blackstone Fortress with the Traitor Guard. So it'd be quite good if GW were to expand on that range and kind of bring more and more out. And also lots of cultists, it'd be quite nice to see some very light civilian-esque vehicles appear for the cultists to come out. But that's just me. And that's it for that one. Let's move on to number 4. Right, so number 4. 2018, we saw the Space Marines Of course, the Primaris Marines getting some nice new toys, vehicle-wise. And Chaos is still kind of lurking behind, not really sure what Chaos wants to do as a range. Do they want to carry on with the Demon Forge, or do they want to kind of go back a little bit towards the vehicles? And it'd be quite nice to see a new vehicle appear in the Chaos Codex. It's frustrating to see in the Space Marine Codex they can have a Contemptor straight in their Codex, and for some reason Chaos still can't have a Contemptor in their Codex. Force can take one from Forge World books, etc., but it'd be quite nice to have acknowledgement that we had Contemptors a long time before Loyalists did, and yeah, it'd be quite nice to have some kind of vehicles return. Not necessarily a Contemptor. Like I said, it could be good for another Demon Forge vehicle to appear. Also, another variant of a flyer, because at the moment, Chaos, if you go by the Codex, this is all by the Codex, by the way, not necessarily by Forge World, but by the Codex, only have the Helldrake. So it'd be quite cool if we got we've got a transport maybe, or a definite anti-air one. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Helldrake, but it'd be quite nice to see another variant appear on the battlefield from GW, and I would definitely get some of them. If there's anything that you guys would like to see from a Chaos vehicle point of view, let me know. But at the moment, yeah, so a nice new flyer and some new vehicle. I'm kind of going down the road of Demon Forge. It'd be quite cool to see what they can come up with next. Something unique, not necessarily copying and pasting from the Space Marine Codex, which they kind of done in the past, but it does seem that Space Marines in general have kind of overlapped us on the vehicles. For instance, in the Chaos Space Marine Codex, we have one type of Land Raider, and off the top of my head, and a beer down, or a couple of beers down, Space Marines I think have three different types of Land Raider, which is great for them. But why don't Chaos have anything peculiar? Now let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Be nice to see this year coming up. We've already seen that Crimson Fists have had a supplement released in the White Dwarf, which is great. Which kind of goes back to the old days, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be appearing in the 2019 Codex approved, chapter approved, sorry, as well. It'd be quite good to see that Chaos Legions, Word Bearers, or any of the others that haven't currently got a Codex. So a lot of the Undivided Legions, I don't think would end up having their own Codex. Possibly World Eaters, Emperor's Children will be getting their own Codex this year. But the others, it would be nice to see them just having an article in the White Dwarf which we can use at games, rather than standing, you know, where we are at the moment with certain things in there that aren't really that great. So a nice little addition to what we have in the Codex already. For instance, Word Bearers have They Shall Know No Fear as our Legion tactic, which isn't great. It's basically, yes, Loyalist Marines, we have what you have as standard as our special rule. Great. So it'd be quite nice if they had something else in there, possibly. Especially as, like I said previously, I'm not bitter, by the way. This might be coming across as bitter, but as I said before, Tide of Traitors has been taken away, which obviously was very good for certain legions. Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, and Word Bearers, that was taken away. And Word Bearers, of course, in the fluff and narrative, they use cultists a lot, and it's very much driven by religious fever, and cultists feature quite heavily in there. So it'd be quite nice if they were to bring something back to help with cultists. Maybe even a point reduction for Word Bearers for cultists. Bring that back down again. Maybe that would help. What do you think? What would you like to see for your Legion in a Codex? In a White Dwarf. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Now let's move on to number 2. So they featured earlier on in a form, Emperor's Children. Now I've had Slaanesh Demons, but Emperor's Children, it would be great to see them returning to the battlefield with some nice new models. I mean, fair enough, World Eaters, the Berserker kit is a bit out of date now. Quite bad. But they do have plastic models. Now, Emperor's Children, unfortunately, are way behind the trend on this, and they are still fine cast on metal. It's not good. It'd be quite nice to see now, with the amazing sculpts they're able to produce, that Emperor's Children come out in 2019 with new models, new Terminators, new basic troops, new characters, new vehicles. It would be amazing. I can imagine an Emperor's Children Walker, a bit like the Penton engine, appearing on the battlefield. That would be amazing. Of course, Games Workshop are kind of hopefully working on this already, and number one model release for 2018, I believe, was the Noise Marine they released for the anniversary, which is testament in itself that we want more Noise Marines. We want to make the battlefield loud again. I personally would love to see these models come out, and I would definitely include a squad or two in the 83rd Warhost, my word bearer band. That's what I'd like to see, really, to be honest. Hopefully they would go alongside a nice new demon range for Slaanesh, but that's what I want to see at number 2. Now, number 1. Okay, so number 1 for me, and to be fair, this is probably number 1 for a lot of you out here. Doesn't really matter what Legion you're playing. Could be Thousand Suns, could be Death Guard, could be anything. Games Workshop, please, 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 can we have some new Chaos Space Marine models? It's painful now to look at these models. I have several unpainted ones on my paint station that have sat there, and it's disheartening. I feel now we have to convert and kit bash everything for Chaos Space Marine models, and especially the basic guys. They are horribly out of date now, and you wouldn't have to release Chosen or Havocs. We could quite happily use new Chaos Space Marine models, and put them into these kits and unit types, because at the moment it's hard work. You have to, for instance, I did a Chosen squad not too long ago in the 83rd Warhost video. If you haven't watched those already, look at our channel, and on the 81st Warhost series there are some Chosen Marines that I've done, and I really like how they looked, but that's using 30k parts, Raptor parts and Chaos Space Marine parts. It's not necessarily the best way of doing it, but they do look good. But it'd be nice if we just had standard Chaos Space Marine models with decent scale and decent posing. But yeah, that's my number 1. Like I said, the rest are not in order, but number 1, thinking about it, would be Chaos Space Marine models. Just a nice new plastic kit. That's all I want. Games Workshop, that's all I want. Yeah, so guys, that is my 10 requirements, wish listing for Chaos in 2019. Now, if a few of those come true, I will be a happy, happy boy. But that's me. What would you guys like to see in 2019 for the Chaos range? What do you think will make a nice new addition to our armies? Could be from anything from Renegades and Heretics, could be Renegade Knights, could be Demons, Chaos Space Marines, Thousand Suns, Death Guard, anything. What would you guys like to see for Chaos in 2019? Please put a comment below. Give us a like and a subscription if you haven't already and you want to see more videos like this. Please do. Guys, this is Dom from BlackToad Studios. Thank you very much for watching this, and take care.